Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. July 19th. False pride. Many of us who had thought ourselves religious awoke to the limitations of this attitude. Refusing to place God first, we had deprived ourselves of His help. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 75. Many false notions operate in false pride. The need for direction to live a decent life is satisfied by the hope experienced in the AA fellowship. Those who have walked the way for years, a day at a time, so that a God centered life has limitless possibilities for personal growth. This being so, much hope is transmitted by the elder AAs. I thank my higher power for letting me know that He works through other people, and I thank Him for our trusted servants in the fellowship who aid new members to reject their false ideals and to adopt those which lead to a life of compassion and trust. The elders in AA challenge the newcomers to come to so that they can come to believe. I ask my higher power to help my unbelief. Courage to Change, One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, July 19th. Al-Anon taught me the difference between walls and boundaries. Walls are solid and rigid. They keep others out, and they keep me trapped inside. Boundaries are flexible, changeable, removable, so it's up to me how open or closed I'll be at any given time. They let me decide what behavior is acceptable, not only from others, but from myself. Today I can say no with love instead of hostility, so it doesn't put an end to my relationships. I've learned about boundaries from Al Anon's own set of boundaries, the 12 Traditions. Although their purpose is to protect Al Anon, they actually encourage the growth of the fellowship. This is true of my personal boundaries as well. As I decide what is and isn't acceptable for me, I learn to live protected without walls. Today's reminder: do my defenses keep me safe or do they isolate me? Today I can love myself enough to look for healthier ways to protect myself, ways that don't close everyone out. There's a quote from Joseph Fort Newton, and it reads, "People are lonely because they build walls instead of bridges." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, July 19th. Fulfilling our dreams. Dreams that we gave up long ago can now become realities. Basic text, page 71. All things begin with a dream, but how many of us fulfilled our dreams while using? Even if we managed to complete something we had started, our addiction usually robbed us of any pride in our accomplishment. Perhaps when we used, we dreamed of the day when we would be clean. That day has come. We can use this day to make our dreams come true. To fulfill our dreams, we must take action, but our lack of self-confidence may keep us from trying. We can begin by setting realistic goals. The success we experience when we attain our initial goals allows us to dream bigger dreams the next time around. Some of our members share that when they compare the ambitions they had when they first got clean with what they have actually achieved in recovery, they are astounded. In recovery, we often find more dreams come true than we could ever have imagined. Just for today, I remember that all things begin with a dream. Today, I will allow myself to make my dreams come true. Today, Emotions Anonymous, July 19th. Reflection for today. The healing which continues to come as a result of working this program is astounding. There is so much more to gain than just ridding ourselves of our addictions and compulsions. As I am willing to be open and honest and reach out for support, and as I am willing to go through some very painful times, my sense of freedom and aliveness continues to expand. This freedom and aliveness are wonderful gifts, gifts for which I am very grateful. Meditation for today. May I not be willing to settle for only ridding myself of my addictions and compulsions. May I have the courage to continue expanding and becoming all you have created me to be. Today I will remember the painful times are worthwhile when I can look back and see how much love I have been able to let into my life. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics' dysfunctional families. July 19th. Balance. We balance our experiences as children with the knowledge that we have a unique chance through ACA to break the cycle of family dysfunction. BRB, page 95. Many of our family members seemed to live from one reactive moment to the next. There was little, if any, thought given to planning ahead for possibilities and or how best to approach situations. Some of us tried to change this pattern as adults, perhaps as we raised our own families. Maybe we became rigid when planning to overcompensate for the chaos we had experienced, or we may have found ourselves frequently feeling overwhelmed. We did not seem to have the capacity to look at the big picture and act accordingly, and we consistently berated ourselves for this shortcoming. When we find a new way to live in recovery, we work to erase old tapes and old ways of doing things. But ingrained habits do not disappear overnight. When we feel ourselves at either end of the reaction spectrum, too rigid or feeling overwhelmed, we open our new tool bag and find a way to center ourselves, whether it's through a phone call or using another tool of recovery. By doing so, we reinforce our resolve to live intentional lives. We find purpose and hope because of the balance we are able to integrate. This leads to the peace and serenity we have always deserved. The affirmation reads, "On this day, I will pause and think about how I want to live my day. I affirm that I deserve to live the balanced life that I choose, not a life that simply happens to me." Please share, subscribe, and like. And most of all, be the you that you are created to be, one day at a time.